What's up, guys? Now, before we get into the video, I just want to address something. Somebody made a video on me recently. They made a video kind of critiquing me. And though I agree with some of the stuff he said, a majority of what he said, critiquing on my video, was taken out of context, was spoken in a condescending tone, and generally just painted me in a different light than he probably should have. Now, his intentions were likely good, but he didn't exactly execute it. So, let me make this very clear. Any of my followers that disagree with him and agree with me, I don't want to see any of you disrespecting him, going in his comments, speaking in a condescending tone, speaking out of line, trying to make an example of him, or even saying the shit that he says is flat out wrong. He has a differing opinion than me, and that is okay. But what I'm not gonna do is stoop down to his level and just flat out say, he's wrong. Don't listen to this guy. He's an idiot. I don't want to see any of that shit. If you know who I'm talking about, good. I don't think he is the end-all be-all or the epitome of knowledge when it comes to lifters. Unfortunately, the majority of the people watching that video that subscribe to him worship the ground that this man walks on and would lick the shit out of his ass. So they're naturally coming at me like that. But I don't want any of my followers to be like that. I am not God. I am not none of that. I'm just a guy sharing my experience coupled with research. Okay? I see it, I will publicly make an example out of you. I don't want to see any of it. Even though the intentions of his video are debatable because his tone was a little bit out of line, he probably meant well. So please, if you know what I'm talking about, leave it alone. If you don't know, it's not worth your time. That's it. So, what's up, guys? Joel here, and we're gonna be talking about chest today. Chest, despite my chest looking okay right now, it has been one of my more stubborn muscles to grow, a muscle that I've had to use a lot of intellect and put a lot more effort into growing. So I would like to think I'm decently knowledgeable on growing this muscle. I'm not the epitome of knowledge, but I think I can know a thing or two. It's perfectly fine if you disagree with anything I say in the video, though. Now, just going to be giving some general good exercises for chest growth, some ways to tweak them, and I'm even going to provide a sample chest workout and how to create your own chest workout at the end. Very simple stuff. Now, the most optimal piece of advice before all of this is to train hard and get stronger. Whether you do the most hyper optimal lift possible or the most suboptimal lift possible, if you train it hard and get as strong as possible on it, you will see results. That is the thing that matters the most. So, exercise number one is a heavy bench press, whether it's a heavy barbell bench press or a heavy dumbbell bench press. Though, if you're focused on your aesthetics and, hypertrophic things and bodybuilding mentality, a dumbbell bench press is probably the best for several reasons. One, the fact that it's a dumbbell and not a barbell means that it cannot stop at your rib cage and you are allowed to go deeper and get extra range of motion. Fuller and deeper ranges of motion do tend to elicit higher growth in the muscle. So, naturally, the dumbbells are better. In addition to that, the dumbbells are probably safer for most people. You can naturally hold it any way which comfortable to you, whereas on a barbell, you're kind of locked into holding it. In addition to that, at any point in the lift, though it may be obnoxious, you're free to drop the dumbbells to the side, as simple as that. Whereas on a bench, if you don't have a spotter, you better pull a Sam U leg, like that's your only thing. But in addition to that, the biggest advantage, I believe, to the dumbbell bench press is you can converge. Essentially, you're just bringing your hands together on the way up, which has shown to be beneficial for chest hypertrophy. The way to make the barbell bench presses optimal, find a grip width that is balanced for you. You don't want it too far out, you don't want it too narrow in. You kind of want it to where when you're at the bottom of your bench, your wrist and your elbow is parallel, and this will also cause a lot less wrist problems. Want to tuck your shoulders, bring it down, slowly bring it down, don't rush it, and then bring it back up and flex. And you do the same thing with the dumbbells, but the dumbbells, it's probably going to be a little bit better. So yeah, any general bench press will grow your chest, granted it's done right, but the incline dumbbell bench press in particular seem the best, be the best. In addition to that, incline movements in general, I do tend to rank a little bit higher because one, the upper chest is harder to grow, and two, it holds a little more aesthetic value than the lower chest for most people. So yeah, incline movements such as a dumbbell incline bench or any incline chest press movement can work for you. My second top ranked chest exercise is a typical machine chest press. But whoa, There are 7 different types of chest press machines, and not all are created equal. My personal favorite, I don't see too many gyms have this, but my personal favorite is the cable chest press machine. It's going to be a cable on this side, a cable on that, and it's going to be initially a bit hard to stabilize at first. But the stretch and contraction, the ability to converge on the way up is amazing. It is by far the best, one of the best chest pumps I've ever gotten. It's it can be difficult to overload, but it's possible, granted you're training hard. And it in general just lines up with science. You're able to get an amazing contraction, a good range of motion, and it's relatively safe. I love this movement. And another chest exercise is similar to this that I rank on the same level or even higher, depending on which you prefer, is an incline, or not incline, doesn't matter for this, but a chest press machine that converges on the way up like the last one. The typical chest press machine is okay, but it lacks in that it's so locked into place that it's kind of just a straight here, straight out movement. But with the machine one that converges, the contraction is all that much better. Most chest press machines can give you a very good stretch, but a lot of people find the contraction isn't all that, just because when you're at the top of the range of motion, you're not really converged that much. It's already locked into place. The difference with a barbell bench press is that you can kind of set your grip width to a way that allows you to kind of get a better contraction of your chest. But with most chest press machines, it is incredibly locked into place. So if you can find a converging chest press machine or a cable chest press machine, that is absolutely outstanding. You have hit the jackpot, my friend. One or the other is fine. But like I said, anything will grow. Granted, you give it adequate intensity and you get stronger at it. That is it. That is the most optimal piece of advice. So don't take it too hard, but a cable chest press or a converging chest press machine, A1. The third and probably one of the more obvious ones is a chest fly, specifically a cable chest fly, right? Any chest fly will work, but cable chest flies and cables in general are just very good at maintaining tension all throughout the lift. The things about these is these are probably the best contraction at the peak of your exercise that you're going to get out of any chest exercise. You flex, you stretch out, bring your arms together, and flex as hard as you can, and you will feel that shit in your chest. Now, a way to make this better, a lot of people don't know, is it's a little funny, is basically you're going to make it another chest press, essentially, right? A lot of people will tend to just fly it out wide the whole way. As you come back, kind of watch how wide you go and just focus on bringing it back a little bit so you're not as wide as possible. Once you come in, you straighten your arms as you coming in. It's not something immediate, but it's something that slowly happens throughout the lift, and it will help you get an amazing contraction, and it'll also just help other muscles from taking over. So yeah, any chest fly is good. Except the dumbbell chest fly where you're just doing this, or the plate chest fly. Those suck ass for your chest. Studies show those are really just going to hit your front delts. Those are really just a front delt raise. So yeah, a chest press in the lateral plane, either on cables, machine, amazing exercise. So yeah, try them. Now, a lot of you are here for the chest workout segment, so I'm going to teach this very simple. For your first exercise, it probably should be a pressing exercise. These typically take the most energy out of all your chest exercises and where most of your chest strength and progression in general is going to come from. So putting them at the front at the very beginning of your workout isn't a bad idea. Now, something else for thought, a lot of people do like including something like a chest fly, like a very lightweight chest fly or a push-up before their first heavy pressing moment, just to kind of pre-exhaust the chest and help you establish a better connection and just hit it better in general. This can be very beneficial for hypertrophy. I've never tried it, but you should give it a try. I think it would work very well. So if you want to do that before your main chest exercise, not completely exhausted, but just some light exhaustion with push-ups or a chest fly, go ahead. I think it could work. Now, back to the main point. Your first exercise, I think, should be a heavy pressing movement of some sort, right? If you want to do your chest, like your chest press, first from a hypertrophic standpoint, the cable chest press is probably one of the best to start first with. Because from, like I said, a hypertrophic standpoint, it checks all of the optimal boxes. The dumbbells works amazing as a first exercise too, right? And it's probably a little better to go as a first exercise if you're doing dumbbell bench, just because the dumbbells in general are just a little more exhausting. But either of those can go first depending on which you enjoy more and which you want to overload more. They're both amazing for hypertrophy, and in the end, it's up to you. So choosing one or the other for the first, and then choosing one or the other, whatever you didn't choose for the first, for the second, could work. Now, for your last exercise and your third exercise, and you only need 2 to 3 chest exercises, right? Anywhere from 2 to 4 sets with really good intensity on any of these 2 to 3 exercises will work just fine. You don't need 4, you don't need 5, you don't even need 6. Just 2 to 3 good exercise, high intensity is all you need. Now for the third exercise, obviously, just like I mentioned, you can throw your chest fly here. The first 2 exercises, you can perform whatever rep range you want. 8 to 12 tends to show the most studies benefiting hypertrophy, but it doesn't matter as much as you think, as long as your intensity is very high and you take everything close to failure. But for this type of movement, I found that it could be a little dangerous on the rotator cuff, and because it's an isolation movement, I'd say play it just a little bit safer because it's probably a little bit easier to injure yourself on. And this is a movement that you really want to feel and really get a good contraction out. If you want to milk the contraction, get as much of that good contraction as possible. So I think messing around with rep ranges of 10 to 20 for this fly, and then whatever rep range you want in 5 to 30 for the 2 presses is good, because 5 to 30 will generally yield significant gains. That's it. But yeah, feel free to drop an intensity technique on one of the exercises that you enjoy. That's fine too. But another thing that's more important than the pretty exercise selection, do whatever one you enjoy. If you enjoy just a typical barbell bench that's relatively good for hypertrophy but not incredibly optimal, do that, because it's going to be easier and more natural to progress on that than something you don't enjoy as much but is said to be more optimal. So these exercises are just general guidelines, but generally choose what you enjoy. 3 exercises is more than enough, granted your intensity is good, and 5 to 30 rep range yields similar results all across the board. And something I also do that's not necessarily, anybody could disagree with this, is throwing push-ups in here and there. I've noticed they've allowed my chest to get a little more tight, and they're just a generally untaxing way to just get in a small extra amount of chest conditioning and volume. You can throw it at the end of your chest day or your arm day, or shit, some people do it every day. I don't know about every day. I don't know what the studies say about that. Experiment with it. See if your chest is able to recover from that. But yeah, throwing push-ups in, just a couple sets after a workout once or twice a week can also be a really effective way to add something to your chest. So yeah, push-up. Thank you guys for watching. There you have it, your 3 chest exercises. Like I said, any chest exercise will work. Granted, you train it hard, but these are just the general ones that I found to be just a little bit better for hypertrophy, right? Thank you guys for watching, and as per usual, let me know what videos you want next. Feel free to drop criticism, although keep it respectful, because I'm gonna make an example out of people who come at me disrespectful. I am respectful until you come at me a certain type of way. So if you want to criticize me, keep it respectful. Thank you guys for watching.